Welcome to Story Route Zero.
This is a podcast where friends gather to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the strange worlds of video games. We often don't know where we're going, but that's half the fun. Come on the journey with us. Hit us up on Twitter at StoryRoute0. You can send us an email at StoryRoute0@gmail.com. That includes questions, concerns, comments, complaints, pet pics. Send us some recipes. Send us some stories about your day. We're going to listen.
Podcast, start your engines. We have liftoff. Let's have a journey.
Catch me breathing on planes where the gangsta's outdated. Fuck being hard, pause the noose is complicated. That's In the Woods by De La Soul off of their wonderful album Balloon Mind State. My name is Matthew Keel. I'm wearing a bright orange trash bag of a hockey jersey. And this is Story Route Zero, episode 63. Jason, that was for you. How are you today?
Good. I'm wearing a Zero sweatshirt from Borderlands 2, and I'm doing well. I thought
not a trash bag. Michaela, Krishana, represent Obelisk Dacia.
Yeah.
How are you? I mean, what it looks very black on my screen.
I'm John Cena. It's Kalo.
It's what?
She's John Sienna now.
I'm John Cena now.
No, I saw that. Wait, what? I can't see you. What?
I'm not even here. I'm just a disembodied voice.
The crazy thing is she's wearing black and her room is white and we still can't see her.
It's like some weird ass fashion show. She's wearing a shirt from Gearbox.
Oh, blue.
And representing the Maize and Blue. No, yes. That's a trackpad. He's not happy to see you. His name is Moose Kluel.
What's up, party people?
How are you, man?
Doing well. Doing well for a Monday.
Yeah. So we talk about the video games here on Story Route Zero, as we have for about 63 episodes now. But first, actual business. How's everybody's weekend? Moose, I never start with you, so you're starting today, right as you take a big old drink.
The weekend was really good. A lot of gaming time. I'll talk about that when we talk about the games we played. But other than that, pretty productive and pretty easygoing. Weather's starting to get nicer here. Probably should have mowed this weekend, but then again, it was scattered thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. So that's probably going to be something I do this week now that the nighttime is getting longer. I like to work my mowing into the week so I don't have to do it on the weekend. But anyways, so that was my weekend. It was good.
Cool. Michaela.
It was good. It was a maybe not the most relaxing weekend, but a very peaceful weekend for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah, you've been having some rough ones of late. I'm glad you got some ease.
Yes.
Not the JRPG series, the EASE.
Not that there's anything wrong
kind of ease. I would take both, please. Thank you. Ease. I didn't actually play a ton of games this weekend because I was focusing on other things where I was checking in with myself, which was very nice. We had our first nice weekend, spring-ish weather where it was high 50s on Saturday and not a cloud in the sky. So I went for my first jog of the season where I run for about a mile and I walked for about 4 miles. And then I came home with no legs. And because I haven't done that since October before it got cold.
Where did you lose them?
Somewhere on Mass Ave. They're just around PCM. Don't trip on them. But yeah, no, I haven't done 5 miles since October, so a little sore. And my legs are not my strength. My legs are my issue. So definitely felt good though. It felt good to have the sun on my face, the wind on my skin. It was nice to be outside, in shorts, and it's sunny and the fresh air, and not in this apartment. Also kind of won a battle this weekend. where we stood our ground, provided a virtual tour video for our landlord who could not figure it out for herself. So we will not be having strangers parading through our occupied apartment to tour it. So we won that
Nice.
fight this weekend.
Cool.
It was nice.
Congratulations on that.
Awesome.
Thank
I
you.
know that can be a pain in the ass.
It's ginger ale, but cheers anyway.
Thank you. But yeah, so I went outside, I had that little victory, and I did some gaming, mostly at the tail end of last night, but actually what I did a lot this weekend, or going into the weekend and through the weekend, was I rewatched 2 of my favorite anime shows of all time, and they're both
Very
only
nice.
1 season, so very bingeable, easy to do.
That's easy to do.
So I rewatched
What-
Violet
what-
Evergarden.
Okay. I've
Violet
heard of that. I've
Evergarden.
not seen it.
Oh, it's so good. It's on Netflix. It's very sad. It's the main voice actress, the woman who voices Violet, is Erica Harlacher, who does On from Persona 5. She does
Okay.
Princess Elizabeth in Seven Deadly. She does
Oh.
one of the monstrums in East 9 recently. I think she just announced she did a character for Monster Hunter Rise as well. She's in everything, all things.
It's awesome.
But yeah,
I'll
so
check
that's
it.
Violet. It's so good. I highly recommend.
Can you do me a
Um,
favor? Can you just DM me that title just so I can put it on the list?
That I can do. It's on the Netflix, so it's easy access.
Cool.
On the Netflix. Where do you find that? On the Google?
Yes, it's with the kids on the phone. I don't know. But yeah, so I rewatched Violet Evergarden, which was really good, and it's a beautiful, beautiful show. It came out 3 years ago now. Oh my god, it came out in 2018. And then I rewatched Akatsuki no Yona, a Yona of the Dawn, which will definitely never get a second season at this point because it's been like 10 years, but I still love that show.
Right.
Very much enjoyed rewatching that as well.
Cool. What's that about?
Nice.
That one is about this girl who was like raised as a spoiled princess, and on her 16th birthday, this guy that she grew up with and thought she loved murders her father, kicks her out of the castle, and then she has to become a bandit in the woods and learn how to be a badass. So, and then she has to find the 4 dragon warriors of whatever. It's an anime. It does stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
great. It's
Yeah.
also it's very comical. Lots of I don't know how to describe it. You know how like suddenly like a fairly serious anime will turn into like 2D chibi looking like comical scenes. It has a lot of that going on. Whereas stark contrast to Violet Evergarden, which is a very serious tone show, which takes place at the end of like a fantasy World War II type of deal. It's kind of like a little bit of that like anime steampunk where it's definitely like 1920s, 40s era technology, with a few exceptions where, like, for example, like the big thing is Violet loses her arms in the war and she has mechanical arms. And everybody freaks out when they see them because she was a child soldier and it's really weird. Whereas Yona takes place in like medieval era fantasy Asia.
Mm-hmm.
So very different shows.
Nice.
Cool. Jason?
I celebrated my birthday.
Happy birthday, fucker.
Thanks, asshole.
I didn't know it was your birthday, so happy birthday. I learned it was your birthday through Michaela's Twitter post. Because this is what happens when you get rid of Facebook. All of a sudden, you don't know when anybody's birthday is anymore.
I didn't get a notification in the top right corner to tell me.
What?
I didn't get the notification in the top right corner to tell me whose birthday it is today.
Yeah.
Right, I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Most of the time I miss that, but when it's someone I care about, most of the time I don't miss that, but when it's someone I care about, I'm like, fuck, I'm an asshole.
Relaxing weekend. It rained a bit, but we just kind of hung around. Did binge. I've watched the second episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I've been binging The Blacklist. I'm in season 3 now.
How many are there?
8.
9?
8. Jesus,
8 or
wow.
9's the newest one.
Okay.
This is the furthest I've ever gotten. This is the 4th attempt, and the only time I've passed the halfway mark of season 1. Because I feel every time I have to restart it, I need to go from the beginning because there's just so much information. So this time, while working from home helps, and I just kind of plowed through, and now I'm. But it's just, I was telling Moose, they're like hour episodes. Can't just sit there and like, I'm gonna watch like 10 of them. It's like, no, you're not.
No. Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, I'll watch one. And it's like, shit, where did the time go? So that's about it.
How about you?
How about you?
Well, I ate a whole lot of Irish potatoes on Saturday because one of my coworkers makes them every year, and she brought in a tub of them for somebody, and that person wasn't there, and she's like, I still have this much at home, so you can have these, and I'll bring them more tomorrow, which tomorrow is the day I'm not in.
Nice.
So yeah, I get it. You know, they're not actually Irish. They have nothing to do with Ireland, but damn, they are so good. Cream cheese, cinnamon, coconut, so good.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it's very. Oh, if you've never had one, yeah, don't. And like, if you see them in the store, don't let that be like, they're better homemade by anybody. It doesn't matter if they are a great baker or me at a stove.
Yeah.
They will be better than the store every time. And then had a pretty music-filled weekend. I found this composer that I'd never really heard of before called Susumu Yokota. He unfortunately passed away in 2015. But I was listening to this ambient artist that I really like, and I saw like a playlist they were on called Lava Lamp, and I started listening to that, and this I don't know how to say the title, but I think it's Kotomodachi. I think that's how you say the title. That was on that playlist, and I'm like, okay, this is really dope. And then I basically started spot checking this guy's massive catalog, and holy shit, this guy's amazing. I think I might have a new favorite, just like minimalist dance artist to listen to, like in the vein of like Herbert, actually mid-period Moby, like play era Moby, minus a lot of the pop. But that set the tone for a lot of my weekend, which was really nice. Sunday, Reba and I were supposed to go hang out with my buddy and his wife and kid, but due to the rain, they canceled, which is understandable because you don't want to bring a 1-year-old out in the rain. Totally get that. Mm-hmm. But then we decided to basically stay in all day. We ended up downstairs on the couch. She was watching multiple different shows on her iPad while I was playing games. And then I decided to watch a movie while she was watching shows on her iPad. So it was a nice weekend. I actually felt a little more recharged than I have in a while, which was nice. Very nice thing to experience. Nice. Other than that, I'm ready to go to games if you guys are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well then, who wants to go first? I'll let y'all pick.
Jason.
All right.
Oh, get a Moose.
Played a bunch of games. More and more Loop Hero, and further from being able to accurately describe it to anyone.
Cool.
My pitch is just go watch the trailer and then buy it. Mm-hmm. Why do you like it? I don't know. I don't. Sometimes I start. Help me! Sometimes I start a game and just walk away and see what happens. Like, yeah. If you don't pause, like, because you can pause the game to build the map, but you don't have to. So if you don't, you just keep going and fighting because fighting's automatic. So sometimes I just do that and see how far, like 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened.
Now, when you do that, is there a way to sort of get a recap or?
No,
like,
and so you shouldn't actually do it. I really did it more for science because you get cards as you defeat. You either get cards or gear from when you kill things, but you can only hold so many cards. I think it's like 12, maybe. If you get another card, it deletes your first card.
Okay.
It turns it into a resource, which obviously is useful, but depending on what the card is, you might not want to lose it.
Yeah.
And gear, so there's 12 pieces of gear you can hold at any time. So the next piece of gear erases the last one. So if you just let it go, you're going to lose. And there's really no rhyme or reason what the gear is. Like, it's not like the longer you go, the better the gear is. Like, at some point, the loops will only give certain level gear. You won't get like level 1 gear at like loop 9, but it could be an epic piece of gear, a gray piece of gear which has no stats, just the base stats. So it's,
you have sword.
Yes, you have sword. Well, no, you start like I'm at the point where you start the game with no gear, just a basic sword, but then you can get a sword where it does 3 to 5 damage. But then you can get a sword that does 3 to 5 damage, but also adds attack speed. So it's totally random. Like, all those elements are random. So it's just, it's really good. Like, it's one of the best games I've played this year, and it's just
nice.
And I was talking to Michaela. I want to review it, but I'm really having trouble describe. Like, I can't even do an introduction paragraph. Like, this is what the game's about.
I said that's part of the fun.
Yeah, you should just do that. You should be like, okay, so Loop Hero.
That's the challenge.
It starts off this way, but then, and then.
It sounds like a high school writing prompt. You need to write this story.
But I feel like the ultimate article was the writer who got their publisher to accept that this game is the equivalent of cocaine and allow them to publish that. And at that point, everything's down from there.
How do you top that?
How do you?
That's true.
Like, and it didn't even like it was literally meant as this is as addictive as cocaine is, and it's like, well then.
It's one of the that sounds like it sounds like you had a reaction to that article similar to my reaction to Ryan Davis's article about Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. He's like, biological warfare exists and they figured out how to weaponize Pac-Man fever. This is Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. And that's exactly what that game was. Like, I'm just like, yep, there's no other way to sum this up.
I beat, because last week I was at the end, I beat Avengers. So now I unlock the post game, which there's a lot of shit to do. Still stand by
the Snyder cuts forever, man.
Yeah, I fucking watched that and I want my 4 hours back.
Ouch. Anyway,
still stand by that. It's the map for Avengers is very confusing. Like, just give me a list. I don't really want.
Is it Borderlands 3 confusing?
No, it's I don't even know how to describe how bad it is.
Okay.
It's as bad as my description of Loop Hero. It's full.
Oh, okay. All right, sweet.
Let's see. What else did I play?
You reviewed one.
I did. My review for Kill It With Fire came out. It's highly recommended for anyone who dislikes spiders or fantasizes about killing them.
Or burning their house down.
Yeah, no, it's you can. There's no collateral damage, so if you want to lob Molotov cocktails through the living room to kill all the spiders, go for it. Weed Whacker was an interesting one. I unlocked that. I'm like, that seems a bit much for a spider, but unless it's
a Molotov wasn't.
No,
you draw the line at Weed Whacker.
No,
Well,
Weed
here's the thing.
Whacker's tougher to hit the target. Molotov, you just throw in the general direction.
Here's the thing. If you hit the Weed Whacker, if you hit a spider with a Weed Whacker, you have a chance of spreading its kids all to the wind and just creating more infestation. Now,
that's a good point.
Molotov, that's just efficiency right there. Get all of it to make sure.
Like a Weed Whacker tries to be like accurate, but it's just messy. Molotov, going in, no, we're burning this shit down.
As you walk through a room to find the spiders, this is gonna burn. This will burn.
I put it
burning.
I put it in my review, and it's cartoony like Team Fortress Surgeon Simulator, but they play music that's like Jordan Peele horror movie, and you're just sitting there, and it's still like it's just the spider, and it's still like creeping, and you're like
still finds a way to be creepy. That's good.
Throwing Molotovs left and right. Fuck it. I don't know where this thing is. Started 2 new games. One is Rising Hell, which is think Dead Cells but vertically and like a beat 'em up.
Go on.
So the map is complete. You just keep moving up. You jump like similar to Scourgebringer. Like as you combo, you can stay in the air.
Okay.
Every couple like floors, you can unlock various power-ups. They cost enemies drop gems, and then you spend the gems. And then there's a lot of like 20% more attack speed, but 80% less health. And it's like, do I want to do this trade-off? And then, like, you finish the run, you either die or you beat the level. You earn, like, another currency that can do permanent upgrades. So it's got that roguelike, one more run feel. So that's fun. And then I've been looking at this for a while, Bladed Fury. It is a side-scrolling... it's steeped in like East Asian mythology. You are a princess who's been exiled. You have 2 swords and then a giant sword to take on these demons. And
so 3 swords.
3 swords. 3 swords total. What's interesting is I don't think it launched in China first, because when you load the game, it says pick. You know how games say pick your region? The choices are China or Switzerland or other.
That reminds me of like a really old DVD. Do you want Korean, English, or French? What?
I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like Switzerland was like, what? Why Switzerland?
Because they're neutral.
Why not Switzerland?
There's a political
joke
in there somewhere. There's a political joke in there that someone smarter than I could make, and I just
got
I don't know.
I should look it up. It's got a cool art style.
Yeah, it does.
It's pretty.
Where are you playing it?
Steam. So have at it, Moose.
Well, it's on PS4 and Switch.
It's on Switch as well and PS4.
Yeah.
What is this called?
Bladed Fury.
Yep. It's only like $12 too. On the other
downloading now.
And it's got, as you go along, enemies drop a currency, and you can upgrade like your abilities. Like your combos can do more damage, or you can stay in the air longer with some of the combos. So it's fun. I'm having fun with it. Played some WoW.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did I play?
It's better than I could have done it.
I played it on Switch. A platformer, Kaze and the Wild Mask. It's like it's got the old school feel. But as you go, like kind of like a Mega Man style, like items drop and a wild mask, and you gain different abilities. It's it's enjoyable. And then let's see. Oh, for my birthday with the girls, we played Mario Kart and Sonic.
Ooh.
So that was fun. Funny story with Sonic. Remember how older games, if you turn it on and just leave it, it starts running through the game like credits.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Arya's holding the controller and she doesn't know better. And Jess walks in and it starts and it's like, "Oh, Arya, you're doing so good." And we're standing around her and I elbow Jess. I'm like, "That's the demo. She didn't start yet." But
thanks, Mom.
Arya beat Green Hill Zone 1. So consistently,
Nice.
like 4 times in a row. She couldn't get past 2, but we're slow with training wheels. Mario Kart did not go as well. There was a lot of crashing. And I gotta say, Mario Kart on Super Nintendo is a lot harder than the later version.
Oh, it really is. It totally
Mhm.
is.
It requires
The older it is, the harder the Mario Kart.
like
Mhm.
transporter like level driving ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
The newer ones, it's just like, oh, you're gonna bounce off the wall, fine. This one hit a wall, no, you're stuck.
Yeah. Back up, go forward. Back up, go
Back up
forward.
You got the
slowly.
stupid guy with the shell in front of your face. You're going the wrong way.
Hmm.
I know that.
I'm doing what I want, Lakitu. Leave me alone.
And that was about it. So I played quite a bit.
Good on you, kid.
Some new games, some old games.
All right, Michaela, your turn.
By contrast, I did not play that many games. I think I might have touched my backlog game at one point, but mostly I was still
Like,
playing Bravely.
The physical disc, you just held it.
I might have dusted it. I cleaned.
Oh, okay.
It was there.
Nice.
I will focus on that some more this week. I had originally intended to play more games this weekend than I did, but then the weather was nice, and that's how that went.
Cool.
But yes, I did focus my time on Bravely yet again. I seem to be on this pace where I do a chapter a week. I made it to chapter 3. That was a sad noise, I think, from Bagel.
What's Bagel? What is your problem, buddy? He's just every time I keep my hand on his head, and if I take it away, he's just.
Yeah, that's what dogs do.
I tried to put him in my lap. He's like, "Nope, I don't want to be here." I don't know what you want, buddy. I don't know what you
He's
want.
like, no.
He doesn't know what he wants. That's the problem.
There you go.
Oh
There
no,
you
he
go.
knows. He just doesn't. He just can't use his words. Continue.
Yeah, so focused on Bravely, made it to chapter 3. Chapter 2 ended dark. Shit got dark at the end there. I was like, okay, this is where we're going now.
Really, really, really square.
I was like, okay, I'm bopping along. I'm playing this little cute, chibi looking FF clone. And then it's like darkness. I was like, holy shit, we just got Persona up in this bitch. Like,
Cool.
the boss, so each chapter kind of has like 3-ish main boss fights to it. It's kind of the way the chapter progresses. And the third one was like this little girl who was killing people. She was killing wizards to use their blood to make a special paint for her masterpiece. She made Madarame look like a good person, pretty much is what I'm saying, compared to Persona 5.
It sounds like the Ashes of Ariandel DLC
That sounds
of.
like an episode of Criminal Minds where they bleed dry their victims and paint with the shit.
Yeah, she was mind controlling some people, and then she was straight up murdering other. Like, I walked into a cave at one point. I'm like, I had freed all the people of mind control, and I walked into a cave, and it's like, look at all these red flowers with like this ominous like dust cloud over them, and then you walk up, and they're not flowers; it's a pile of dead bodies. And I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. And then she's like, yes, I killed them. And it's like this 10-year-old girl with a French accent. I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's creepy.
She wasn't even sorry about it. She's like, yes, I needed to kill them. I enjoyed killing them for my art. Do you not understand? What the fuck? This just went from like PG to like not real fast.
Like not. Very nice.
So yeah, we dealt with that. I got the Earth Crystal. So I found and lost the Wind Crystal. I found and kept the Water Crystal, and now I have found and kept the Earth Crystal, and we are very clearly.
Captain Planet.
Yes. And we were also after last week after trying to explain the Alucard reference being both to Castlevania and to Hellsing. I went back and watched some of the Hellsing Ultimate parodies, so that was probably what started me on my anime kick for the weekend. But that was a fun time. That shit is funny. Incredibly inappropriate, but funny. But yeah, so my job classes are toy right now. They're so good. Because like last week when we checked in, I was happy with 3 out of the 4. Now I'm very happy with all 4. To the point where I don't want to experiment with 1 or 2 of the new classes that I picked up because I don't want to like fuck up my system. So one of my combos that I implemented since last time was I now have a ranger, aka archer / dancer, which is just like a buff. Like she buffs defense, attack, magic defense, magic attack, crit rate.
Oh, nice.
And she does killer damage with a bow, and she has specialized attacks that do more damage to demon types, human types, aquatic types, all that stuff. So she's killing it now. But my number 1 upgrade, I think, is I fully mastered the classes that I had on a character that I was already liking, which is a berserker / vanguard. And when he finished that, I switched it back so that it's now a vanguard / berserker. So berserker, his subclass, now that he mastered it, he literally walks up to literally any trash mob. Just insert any trash mob here. It doesn't matter if there's 2 of them or if there are 6 of them, and hits delete on their entire existence in 1 turn. Just absolutely gone. He deletes them from this mortal coil. They are gone. I literally, unless I'm in a boss fight, do not need any of my other 3 characters. I can just, boom, they're gone.
Gotta love it when someone can step to the hammer and get nailed, am I right?
Fucking great. Literally, it's hilarious. It's just like, all right, do you think you can do this in 2, or do you need 3 attacks? All right, gone. And then I also, my combo that was a black mage, white mage last time is now a black mage, red mage. And red mage, when he mastered that class, which I did right before the show today, which I didn't know, his special ability for mastering that class is he gets a free double cast. So every spell I casts twice at no extra cost. Hella fucking
nice.
So I am into chapter 3 now, and we have made it to the obligatory JRPG snow level.
It seems a little early.
Well, I mean, these chapters are like 10 hours long, so.
Jesus.
But still, if you're, I figured this would be like 5 or 6.
I think we're about on par. So
there's only 6, maybe 7.
There's only I think there's officially 7 chapters plus the prologue. From looking at the wiki page, I've found that there seems to be 7 entries in the wiki page. So, and there's also like the good ending versus bad endings. So maybe there's only 7 chapters if you play all the way through to the good. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Still unclear. But like all of the crystals have been so far in places where it's like juxtaposition. So like the water crystal was in a desert kingdom. And now I'm going for the fire crystal. So I was like, okay, no time. Show me the snow. Lego. But what did catch me by surprise, literally 5 minutes before Jason sent out the Discord link for this, I was walking up to the Snowtown, rhyme doll, but Snowtown, I'm calling it. And a new character just like pops up, and it's this cute little dragon. And he's so cute. And I saw him pop up on the screen, and I was like, I want 5.
I want not just you. I want 4 others.
I want your
Let's
brothers. I want your sisters. You could bring your parents at this point.
So he joined my party as a guest, which means he'll be probably with me for the duration of the chapter, or at least a good part of it. And I'm really hoping he participates in combat. He's literally like this. He's a whittle dragon. He's like up to like not even somebody's knee. So I'm very excited by this like cute little. I don't
Ankle
like.
biter.
Yeah, somebody called him a lizard, and he took offense at that. And then somebody called him a monster, and he took offense at that. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? He's adorable." So that's where I left off. So I'm very hyped for the Whittle Dragon. He's so cute.
Nice.
He's got whittle feetsies and he's got whittle eyes and he's very cute. And I'm very happy.
Nice. I want that to be our episode title. He's got whittle eyes and whittle feetsies and he makes me so happy.
And I want 5.
And I want 5 yesterday.
How much do I Venmo you to get this quick? Anything else?
No.
Okay. So I only played one thing this week. I played and finished off all of the Hitman stuff. Just under the gun to get the elusive target within the last half hour of its existence on the server.
Nice.
So
GG.
Thank you. The reason, for anyone who might not remember, a couple of trophies bugged out on Hitman 3. So I had to basically reset my progress. And when you reset your progress in Hitman, it takes out all your progress across Hitman 2 and 3. Oof. And I didn't have all the trophies for Hitman 2, so I'm like, I'm just gonna get them there, and then they'll just pop in 3. So I was basically tearing through Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 in the Hitman 2 package. I did all the DLC, all of the sniper assassins, with the exception of the multiplayer trophies, and I even got a bunch of the escalations that I hadn't done previously, just to like keep my mastery up. And then today, so we went to bed relatively early last night, but it was my plan to stay up and work on this because I knew I knew my window was closing. I fell asleep at I think 10:30 and woke up at 3:30 and realized I had missed it. I went to the Google and figured out when the elusive target ended, and it was 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm like, all right, I've got 4.5 hours. It's get these trophies or have to do it twice. So I'm like, I want to do it once. I got through everything except for the multiplayer sniper trophies, and even got through the remaining trophies I had that had bugged in Hitman 3 just before the elusive target ended. So at 7:30, I did my carryover to give myself a little mini heart attack. My internet crapped out for about 15 minutes, which I'm just like, crap, I'm not going to make it. I get into the mission, and I remembered the stowaway from Hitman 2, and I'm like, this guy's really close to the beginning, and he's stupid close to the beginning. You could basically walk in, grab if you bring the right loadout, you can get this thing done in under a minute. But I forgot to bring the right loadout, so I had to do it au natural, and followed him to a bathroom, drowned him in a toilet, walked out, stole a helicopter, and got a silent assassin because Hitman rules. But then I started messing with the escalations in Hitman 3 again, just because I had lost all the stuff that I unlocked. And then I found out that all of the escalations I did in 2 did not matter, and that kind of made me angry. But Hitman 3 runs better than Hitman 2, so I will have no problem doing them again. So if any of you three ever decide to play the Hitman 2 multiplayer sniper missions, we can have the multiplayer done in like 10 minutes total. Mainly because I have them all internalized now. So I'm pretty sure I could step into any one of those maps and be like, okay, we're at least getting through this. We might not get Silent Assassin, but we're getting through this. So that's all you need to do. That game is still good. I started thinking about like keeping better track of like the games I'd beaten. And it's the first year I've really done that, and I started and Hitman 1, 2, and 3 are all on that list because I've actually beaten them all this year. And while I'm definitely at the point where I'm going to be like Moose in The Division or WoW at this point, where I'm not going to be like going hard on content so much. I'll probably be there for elusive targets. I know the DLC, there's the first package of DLC drops tomorrow,
Oh, nice.
I've actually seen a lot of really weird discourse on that, but that's just for people who are deeper into the workings of IO than I am. But I'm super into that stuff, and I'm actually just really excited to be kind of not focused on that. But I will say this: when I found the Easter egg that I'd mentioned last week in Hokkaido, I found that same Easter egg again in a different level, and I'm starting to realize that this, probably because of this trilogy, it made me realize just how much I loved this series overall. And I think once I put my PC together, I may actually try and play the older ones again. I know that like the first one, Agent 47, and the second one, which was originally on PS2 and PC, I know that they're probably going to be rough, but I think I'd like to try them again. I never played Contracts, which I guess is a rehash of the first one. I loved Blood Money. Blood Money is probably my favorite one, but and then I completely missed Absolution. So I'll probably do all of those again all of those again and for the first time at some point, just because I kind of don't want Hitman to be over, but I'm also going to try and make sure I'm talking about not just Hitman all the time. I do want to say I did have the absolute funniest kill today. I was doing an escalation in Dubai. It's called the Asmodeus Waltz. And if you get a chance, look up the names of the escalations in Hitman. They're very good names. They're like names of fractals for some reason. and that shit's just wild. But you had to kill 5 targets. Each of them you have to kill in a different way. So like one you have to kill as a straight up accident. One has to be an explosion. One you have to put an axe to their face. Other ones you have to drown. Whatever. But anyway, this the one you have to make explode. I found in Dubai, and I knew this was there. I'm not going to really say where, but there's an exploding golf ball in Dubai that you can pick up, and I know where that is. I'm going to get it. I'm going to throw that at her face. And I did. And Hitman's ragdoll physics are absolutely hilarious. You just see this figure T-pose for like a solid 3 frames, and then it's like the body like she becomes Rayman, where she doesn't have limbs, she just has like hands and feet, but then like they're like Stretch Armstrong's like slinkies back to her body. I set the controller down and laughed my ass off, and then I almost got spotted by someone else, and I threw a wrench at their head and knocked them out. Hitman's fun.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time with something else, and I can't wait to talk about it next week with Jason. I do believe we now go to Azeroth, or no, not is it Azeroth?
You got it right.
Sure. Yeah.
I clearly I've never played WoW, so
Well, that was a good guess.
You
You're in
say
the
Azeroth,
ballpark.
I think Teen Titans, to be quite honest. So
It's in the ballpark. I mean,
okay, good. As long as I'm in the ballpark, I'm happy with that.
yeah.
Uh,
Lots of WoW this weekend. Lots of WoW.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was playing a bunch of classic, and then I just decided to drop being a holy paladin on retail and go retribution, which is the DPS class. And I'm having a lot more fun with that because it's like trying to relearn WoW and learn the mechanics of healing is like trying to learn how to ride what is a unicycle and juggle chainsaws at the same time. So I'm like, let me just learn a unicycle and then I'll learn juggling chainsaws and then we'll be good to go.
You don't juggle chainsaws regularly on Thursdays at our class? What the fuck is wrong with you?
No.
get on this fucking level, bro.
So I'm like,
What's really impressive is I thought he was doing it the entire time. So clearly he has us all fooled.
Yes, I do.
So
my main problem,
the greatest trick Moose ever pulled was convincing the world he could juggle chainsaws.
So it's not terribly hard, but like the last time I healed in WoW was like right around the time Burning Crusade came out, which was the second expansion. And then I stopped playing 4 expansions ago. And I haven't healed since the second expansion. And so it's gone from like 2 or 3 spells to like there's like a 7 or 8 button rotation. And you're just like, this is insanity. And so it's trying to keep up with
where you
that.
can just be like this the entire
It's like trying to keep up with that. It's also trying to keep up with the fact that a lot of the instances that me and Jason were running, the dungeons, I've never run ever. Like a bunch of them I've never run. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this boss does, And so eventually I got to the point where I was like, well, I was only playing WoW retail when Jason was on and we'd run some dungeons. And then eventually I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to respec and I'll run DPS. He can run tank or healing and we'll find a party or whatever. And so I switched to DPS and started questing, and it's a lot more fun. And so the rotation, so like you have from 1 on your keypad, you have from 1 all the way up to the plus symbol as your first row of keys for your spells. I use all of them. Like the Retribution Paladin has gone from like maybe 5 or 6 up to like 12. So I have like 12 spells I can use. So it's like, it's insane. And so it's a lot of fun though. They've made them extremely viable, which is nice. And so it's been a lot of fun. I switched. So like when you start retail, you can pick like which expansion you want to level in. And so I switched to the Warlords of Draenei, which is, how many ago was that, Jason?
Warlords of Draenor?
Draenor, yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
the
non-WoW player got the name right.
But
3.
Broken clocks right twice a day, Jason.
Yep.
That's true. So I switched to that and the leveling's been a lot faster. So
yeah, I will.
It's
for non-WoW players, this is a really cool feature they did. So there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 expansions. So there's a lot to do. But if you are new, you can actually choose the expansion you want to level in. As opposed to when they came out, you had to be certain levels. Like you couldn't just jump into the newest at the time. You had to be wherever the max level was, then you went to the next one, max level. Now the game will scale. You can pick whatever you want. So like for Moose and me, when we returned, we could pick where, because when I came back, I missed 3 expansions worth. So you can kind of, I think they did the way they handled it is really cool to let other players people experience the older stuff instead of going back when you're like max level and just plowing through everything.
Yeah, it's also nice that they do like the party syncing, like we were saying with Borderlands. So you can just be like, you can have a level 12 healer run around with you, and it scales pretty well. You know, if your friend's like a 60 or something, like Matt was taken for us, and he was a level 60 warrior, and then you were what, like a level 30 something healer?
40.
40. Sorry, level 40 healer. I apologize.
Did you
for
have
the disgrace upon your name? Yes. Well, I hope. Well, I don't. If he's a healer, I don't know if he has.
Come to Chainsaw Juggling class. You get this shit wrong. You embarrass us. Come on. Jesus Christ.
Well, wasn't that character a priest?
No, a druid.
Oh, druid. Okay, so leather.
Don't
Whatever.
even get
I know. I'm just messing.
Oh boy.
Anyways, so it's just really fun, like being able to like team up with players and not have to worry about your level while you're questing until what is it, 50, and then it auto locks you at the current stuff, which is not bad. So, but it's a lot of fun. I'm having a good time messing around with it. I fought 2 epic spawns today and got a rifle, which is useless to me, and a trinket, which is nice. So that works out. So good times.
Cool.
That's it.
That's it.
So I had a question. It's gone now. I'm sorry.
It happens.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
class is still open for Chainsaw Juggling.
Apparently, there's an open slot.
There was an accident.
we don't talk about what happened.
We lost the student last week. We don't talk about it though. All right, there was some news this past week.
There was some news. Sad news.
Yeah, Cyberpunk patched their game.
Dun 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 dun.
I gotta admit, in all my years gaming, and that includes playing WoW and seeing patch notes, holy shit, the Cyberpunk patch notes. You're scrolling for a good 10 minutes. Like, there's a lot.
Wow.
I will say, though, Avengers 1000 patch, remember that?
Well, yes, the Avengers, but at least Avengers ran. Cyberpunk did fix an important typo. You are now entering Night City, not NIHGT City. They misspelled the main city in the game on a billboard and just fixed it.
They're like, fuck it. They're like, we don't care.
Look, I you can say what you want about language and whatever, because CD Projekt Red is in Poland, if I remember correctly. But that, if nobody saw that, there's a lot of balls that were dropped out of a lot of hands for that to happen.
Spell check up in this bitch.
That's pretty rough.
Good news. Hitman 3 DLC 7 Deadly Sins.
Yes.
Which will most definitely keep Matt playing.
Oh, yeah. I want that suit that's in there. I want that suit. That gold, gaudy as shit suit. Looks so good.
In some confusing news, Microsoft is rumored to be buying Discord. Did they know Discord doesn't have games?
Rest in peace, Discord.
Oh, it used to, actually. You're right.
I don't remember what even the source of these rumors are, but like, please don't do that. Leave it alone.
I'd like to see Nintendo buy Discord so they can learn how to use voice chat.
No, then they just like delete the whole online service.
Yeah. A Ghost of Tsushima movie was announced. It's going to be directed by the John Wick director. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
Of course, there's been casting speculation. People were saying the voice actor for Jin should be a front runner to play Jin.
That would be fucking
Yeah.
great, though.
Because
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people calling for, and I can't think of his name, but he's going to be in Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movie. I feel he's too old to be. I feel Jin should be younger. Like, I like that actor, but I can't think of, think of his name. He's a good actor. I've seen him in a couple things, but I feel he's too. Maybe he could play the father or something. But that should be.
What's his name? Patrick Gallagher. Did he play the Khan?
Yeah,
He could do. He could pull that off. Why
not? Yeah. So that would be cool. And Xbox had their ID at Xbox event. Announced quite a bit.
It's 4 hours long.
This reminds me of, remember when we covered the Escapist indie show? And there was
Jesus.
like 90.
It was 90 minutes, and then there were 90 trailers because it was trailer after like there was no breathing room.
But honestly, that's the way you do it. I'd prefer that over the talky parts. Like, I don't need to see Jeff Keighley and what's that girl from IGN that always helps him?
Sid? Is it
Sydney Goodman?
I prefer
Sydney
the
Goodman?
Escapist, just trailer. Like, I don't want talking. Just show me the highlight reel.
Well, I mean, like there's value in having, like, you know, our game is this,
Right,
and this with some gameplay, but like at some point, I was in and out of this, and I wanted to go back around and watch it, and I never did because every time I thought about it, I'm like, no, I've got Hitman to play. And I basically looked at the announcement of lists, or a list of the announcements, and I was like, all right, there's some stuff I've heard of. And the one thing I saw in my snippets of it was Crapstopia. That was the one that really sort of hit me, mainly because it was a lot of things that I like all at once. And yeah, but I'll let you go through it.
Yeah, I didn't really catch a lot. There was the one that really caught my eye was Loot River. It's like a dungeon.
Okay.
Floor. And it was described as being on a Tetris map. Basically, the shape of the map looked like Tetris pieces. It had like, well, because I guess as you go through, it's real-time combat, but the map shifts, kind of like Tetris blocks. Like, so you have to kind of position to move around. So there's a bit of strategy to the dungeon crawl. It's not just keep going and go. You have to kind of plan your routes. So that was, but there's a lot. I'm sure we'll hear. I don't think anything was like available now. So
Right.
I'm sure we'll hear bits and pieces of each of these at coming shows. And also, this is not just an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, it's
like
a lot of these will be everywhere.
Exclusive, but I'm sure some will come up on a Nintendo Direct or one of the indie directs rather, because they don't do Nintendo Directs anymore. That's once every 18 months.
Yeah.
Or we'll see it on like a PlayStation launch. Yeah, so there was that. The other news is apparently Disco Elysium is getting rave reviews for console. People are absolutely loving it, which is great.
Which that's tomorrow is 2 days from now, right?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So by the time this is up, it'll be 2 days ago. But yep. So
I'm really excited to receive that British Sea Power soundtrack because it's really good.
And then we got just a lot of games coming out in the next. We had like a good block of like a lot of releases, big releases for like 2 straight months.
Yeah.
Outriders, Returnal.
Friday or Thursday.
Thursday's Outriders. We got Returnal. We got Deathloop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biomutant. I mean,
I was gonna say
Which got a new
Biomutant.
trailer this weekend. Combat trailer.
Ooh, very nice.
Believe it when I see it.
It looks dope.
It does. I'll believe it when I see it, though.
No, watch the new combat trailer. Visually, you can tell it's a step up from where they were.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I'm like you. I've been excited for that game for a long time.
5 years. 5 fucking years.
Not that long. I've not been excited for it that long. Like I'm 2. Like, but 2's a long time. You did not mention Near though, Jason. Do better.
Give me.
Shit.
You didn't finish. You're right.
I was gonna say.
I was aggressive. My
No,
bad.
Michaela. better than
Near,
you.
far, wherever you are. Give me. I'm ready.
But we were talking about how we hope after Ratchet and Clank, there's literally nothing till Kena, so we don't have to play anything else.
Yeah, really.
Nintendo's gonna slip, like Disgaea 6 is gonna like slip right in there or something. SMT5 maybe.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. The Sky 6.
Returnal got a new trailer last week, I think, at the so Jason, I know I sent you this, but the future game. So Returnal got a trailer. Chris Tales got a trailer.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that might be targeting this summer.
There's a
Pina got a
demo.
new trailer. Yeah. Axiom Verge 2 got a new trailer.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'm curious where to go story wise. I mean, did anyone else beat Axiom Verge?
No,
Okay.
I got really the farthest I ever got on was on Switch, and I'll be honest, like I love the mechanics of that game. I did not pay attention to the story.
I feel like you should for the mystery behind it. Not that it's a decent story. It's not like mind blowing, but I think where they go with the story, it'd be curious as to how the next one continues. So I think an understanding of, even if you just looked it up, but I
Sure.
think it does it more justice if you experience it, because there's some plot twists and you're like, what the hell? What happened?
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, there's some of those, so I think it'd be worth it. So I'm curious where the story goes for, because it's one of those you're like, oh, I have no idea what the second game could be about type.
So I'm not 100% sold on Axiom Verge 2, mainly because I don't like the way it looks. I think it looks worse than the first one. Personally. That's, I mean, you know,
No, I can see it because honestly, I loved Axiom Verge. It didn't appeal to me art style wise. Like it's not something like it's like all the other cookie cutter retro style pixel.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, like Narita Boy, which comes out tomorrow. I feel that's the pixel, but the neon and the 80s vibe makes it stand out more than
just being pixel art.
Yeah, like it's kind of like that Another World look, which like you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's kind of like irritating to look at because you start hard. Like I can't make this out. This is bad. My eyes hurt.
Well, I think with Narita Boy specifically, they're going for that old CRT presentation as well, which is certainly a style choice. But
I think it also has to do with the story. I think the story actually ties into the art style of Narita Boy, like the whole background. But no, I get what you're saying about Axiom Verge. It's not. There's the jump on the pixel old school train, and then there's also like, are we just doing this because we're doing it? I mean, it's impressive nonetheless because it's one Tom Happ, it's one guy.
Oh, definitely. Like I'm not going to sit here and shit on Tom Happ's work, but
the four of us combined couldn't even do that. But
probably, definitely.
I mean, once we get to professional level in the chainsaw juggling, we could take on game development.
If we have any hands left, but then
yeah.
I have no thumbs.
Code anyway.
So we'll see. I mean, there's quite a bit coming.
Yeah, I was thinking of two other things we should mention. One, It Takes Two seems to be blowing up at the moment. As the indie darling of the day.
I say this, like Matt said about Axiom Verge, I think this looks like absolute garbage and I would hate it.
I'm not in the co-op scene myself, but it's getting rave reviews at the moment.
Like
how much attention do you think it gets from the faith? Like I think the next developer who wants to make a splash should be drunk with Jeff Keighley, and everyone will just focus on anything they do. Like, I don't think his first game was anything special. I tried about 20 minutes of co-op for what was it called? What the hell? The prison.
Oh, it was A Way Out.
Way Out, yeah.
I didn't think anything. I mean, personally, I could see why people like it, but
Well, I mean, his first game was Brothers. Like, that was his big splash.
Yeah, that one's the good. Like
and
that
that
one's good.
one's a not
That one's good because of the story.
It's a good story, but I actually think like the way that everything sort of I think
the sticks,
like the gameplay and story measure up really well in Brothers.
Yeah.
I was not interested in A Way Out. I've seen people who got into A Way Out and got to the point where they were invested, and I'd love to have that experience, but I don't have anybody that I'd play that with. I've thought about bringing It Takes Two to Reba, but I feel like with the year both of us are having, a game about people getting divorced is probably not the way to go. Not that Reba and I are getting divorced, but it's just like we've had a rough year, like in terms of like adoption news. Just we're still both working under conditions of the pandemic, so I think that it would be the wrong moment for me to say, hey, you want to play a co-op game about a couple getting divorced?
No. But if part of the reason I think this is blowing up is because of who made it, the fact that it's that co-op game. There's not a ton of those, but also Twitch, just like with Among Us, Twitch is throwing it in your face. Like I was watching, so the streamer I like, and I encountered through like people I know on Twitter, it has been binging her way through Kingdom Hearts since January. And she started
Ashley Roboto.
Yeah. She started playing KH3 last week. So I went to go watch her VODs because she streams while I'm in the shit fire that is my job. Which was a real shit fire at the end of last week because my boss's laptop went down. We all remote. They got to mail her a new laptop, but her shit still needs to get done. So so I was watching Ashley's VODs after work, and every other fucking ad on Twitch, It Takes Two. Over and over again. So they're promoting the hell out of it.
I think also with the pandemic, co-op is people are working home and then they can just finish and then play a game, and it's something like other people are like, oh, and they'll play a co-op game. Like nobody, like people who work from home, like me and Jess work from home. When we're done, like we're home. Nobody's driving home. Like it's still daylight out. Like we're done. Like I feel like there's probably plenty of people, like Jess doesn't play, but there's probably plenty of couples that, we could play a game together, and that's something. It's a co-op game.
Yeah. Yep. Fills that co-op niche. It's got a notable indie director behind it, and Twitch is promoting the hell out of it, and it's getting rave reviews. So it's popping off at the moment. But speaking of Ashley Roboto, that leads me to the other bit of thing I wanted to announce for the news that I didn't send Jason because I wasn't really thinking about it.
You bought Quality of Memory.
No, I didn't, because you haven't played Persona 5 yet. But it is on sale, so get on that shit. I mean, no, I don't want that game.
She does.
No, I'm good. But yesterday, I do believe yesterday, I don't know, I've been in a time hole, was the 19th anniversary of the Kingdom Hearts.
It was,
which makes me feel old. 19 years ago, I watched a Disney commercial that was fucked up as shit, and I was like, I want that game.
So, in very similar fashion, I said I want that game, and I was old enough to go out and buy it.
I was not.
19 years ago.
19 years. Do you remember that Disney Channel commercial? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't have the Disney Channel. I don't know what specific commercial you're talking about. I just remember seeing a spiky-haired kid, Goofy and Donald, fighting monsters with a giant key, and I was like, "So Disney's in a game? That's cool."
Yes,
I've liked Disney games there are plenty of Disney games that I've liked in the past. I should give this a try, and it took me like a year to get through that game.
Oh, it probably took me like a couple weeks stops to get through that game.
And I kept getting, much like Jason was talking about the blacklist, I kept just, in terms of like what was happening, I was always lost. And I'm like, I don't know what am I doing? And so I would actually just start over and see if I could just internalize more of it as I went.
There was just this like weird Disney commercial where like they go into like this like top secret area, and there's like cartoon characters running around, like you said, Sora and Goofy and whatnot.
Was Maleficent in that one?
I don't think she was in that trailer. Okay. I'd have to go back. It's been a while. I'd have to go back and rewatch. But do you know what the original concept was for Kingdom Hearts that Disney wanted?
No.
They wanted Donald Duck to be the main character. So be grateful that didn't happen.
And then they just made Donald Duck the most powerful wizard in the history of video games.
The most annoying wizard in the history of video games, who doesn't fucking heal you until you get to KH3, and you can change his settings to force him. But yes. And then he summons like Meteor, and it's fine. But and then when Square rightfully pushed back on making Donald Duck the hero of the game because they wanted Mickey, but Disney was not going to hand over the mouse.
No, you do not get the mouse.
You don't get the mouse. You can have the duck.
Yeah, you have the duck and whatever Goofy is.
So they decided on an OC, and originally Sora was a lion boy with a chainsaw, and then Disney was like, but chainsaws are weapons, so let's give him a giant key.
Have you not heard about the accidents in classes with chainsaws? Honestly,
that was just one chainsaw. So,
what was that? Was it a zombie game with the cheerleader and the chainsaw? What was it? I feel like Lollipop Chainsaw or something.
Lollipop Chainsaw, yeah. That's like, isn't that a Suda 51 game? No, it's not a Suda 51 game, no. Is it? Who did that?
I feel like it was an Xbox exclusive.
No, Lollipop Chainsaw, I'm pretty sure is on PS3.
Grasshopper manufacturer did do it.
Oh, Suda 51. Suda 51.
PlayStation 3 and 360. It's on PC.
Huh.
When does Nier come out again? April what?
23rd. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a week.
She's like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what.
What is Nier?
That's 1 week before Eternal.
For some reason, you just reminded me of Rafi from the league. What do you do outside, Rafi? I took a shit in your backyard. What? Nothing.
Dude, you have no idea how excited I am for that game. So much. It is my most anticipated release of the year that has a release date. Like, if Horizon or FF16 got a release date for 2021, those would go over. But otherwise, Nier is my most anticipated release of the year that has a confirmed release date for the year, even more so than the ones I've already played and enjoyed very, very much. I love that franchise. I don't really know the franchise of which it is a spin-off, much like with Persona, so I'm a little bit of a fake fan because like Persona to Shin Megami, I don't really know, although I'm going to play SMT5 if and when Nintendo ever gets around to releasing it.
Why not play 3?
Because it releases the same day as Biomutant, and I was telling Jason, so Biomutant comes out May 25th, SMT3 comes out May 25th, FF7 PS5 upgrade with episode Integrate, Yuffie, whatever, comes out June 10th. The Ninja Gaiden Master Collection comes out June 10th, and Ratchet & Clank comes out June 11th. That is 5 games if you count them all, like if you don't even count them all separately, which with the Ninja Gaiden collection it's 3, but that's 5 releases in the span of like 2 weeks while I'm moving, and I gotta pick and choose which ones I'm buying on day one. So
what leaves for SMT3?
No, like Biomutant is the one I'm buying that month. So SMT3 is gonna wait.
So Biomutant and SMT3. I just did the math for you.
No. Biomutant and FF7 are at the very top of that list.
You played Final Fantasy VII. You can go back to that at any point.
I haven't played the DLC. I haven't played it on PS5.
Listen here, Hitman.
I can't step into that argument.
You know what's crazy? Did you hear about Ninja Gaiden? They have to use the Sigma editions because the code is unsalvageable,
Yeah.
that they couldn't put the originals in the game.
Yep.
That's
and the only
crazy.
reason people get their
The
knickers in a
Ninja
twist-
Gaiden has become the Icewind Dale.
Some people really, really want the original versions because of some of the changes they made in Sigma. The thing I usually see come up in conversation is like censorship and stuff like that. I'm like, is there some titties you need in the original game, ass and titties that you ain't getting in Sigma? Because if so, just look it up on YouTube and get over it.
I fully support everything Michaela just said.
All
I don't
right.
know what I'm saying anymore.
So what else?
There's also titties in Nier, so you can always just play Nier instead.
Yeah, there's a
China is basically half naked the whole
Well,
time.
don't you get a trophy for looking up 2B's skirt?
Skirt 10 times. Yes, you have to do it 10 times.
God, that's a platinum. I'm not sure I want.
You can buy. Well, actually, so that was my first ever platinum, by the way. Nier Automata was my first platinum, and
I've heard that about you. No.
yes, yes, yeah. I looked up 2B skirt 10 times. I really did. And the great thing is she swats at the camera to get you out of there. But the cheap thing you can do in Nier, which I did not do.
You can buy the trophies.
You can buy the trophies from an NPC.
Mm-hmm. Which I remember. I think it was when I think that was announced when Platinum Achievements was still going on. I think we had a big old spirited debate about that. People were talking about the sanctity of trophies. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking
Yoko Taro
about?
is just a troll. That's it. End of story.
Forget the artistic intent here, which Yoko Taro can do whatever he wants because the man writes batshit stuff and it's great. But this doesn't cheapen the experience. It doesn't cheapen the trophies. And the people that I saw complaining about it had a couple of things in common. They would eventually buy My Name is Mayo multiple times to get multiple platinums. And they probably all had the Hannah Montana platinum because they would play bad games for quick platinums.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I feel like this just saved you some time.
Yep. If you don't want to buy the trophies, don't buy the trophies. Get over it. If you don't like how high the percentage of some trophies are on the fucking, like when you compare trophies on the get over it.
Yeah.
Go find a different way to measure your dick elsewhere. Do it somewhere else. Something that this conversation just reminded me of is Nier Automata was actually recently review bombed because it got added to Game Pass.
Oh, more people play it. This game sucks.
Or like one of the versions, all of the versions of the game are better than, or maybe did it get added to Epic too? And that version of the game is better than the Steam version. Any version of Nier is better than the Steam version of Nier. If it was just horribly optimized for that. I got review bombed.
These are like the same people who, when the PlayStation Twitter announces like a game trailer, the first comment's always Xbox is better. It's like, why? What's the point? Like,
does it make you feel better? Do you feel better now?
Sony announces Bloodborne 2. Someone's gonna be like, put it on Xbox. It's like, no, it's not how business works. All right. Now I'm thinking about how much I want Bloodborne 2 again. God damn it. Yeah, Moose is sitting there smugly shaking his head.
He doesn't want it. He's good.
He would kick WoW to the freaking curb if Bloodborne 2 were announced.
I don't know about that.
I do.
All right, Moose,
take us out of here.
Bye.
At Story Route Zero, we have some cool friends who do some cool things, and I'd like to tell you about them. Phoenix Overdrive uses the power of games and gamers to help heal sick kids through the charity Extra Life. Phoenix Overdrive fundraises for Children's Miracle Network hospitals all year, every year, and the fun culminates in a 24-hour gaming marathon. Find out more about their events and projects online via Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Overdrive or on Twitter and Instagram at PHX_Overdrive. You can also join the Facebook group of Pawn Stars at facebook.com/groups/PO Nation in order to share and discuss all the latest in nerd culture. They've also got a podcast, Nerd Overdrive, which you can see weekly at youtube.com/Phoenix Overdrive. You can also catch it on Facebook Live or twitch.tv/PHX_Overdrive. That podcast is also published on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. You want merch? They got merch. Merch can be ordered from tinyurl.com/PHXODmerch, a portion of which goes to their fundraising efforts. Join the nation and be a hero to sick kids, as El Capitan Rey Osorio, Lee the Maestro, and Becky, the lovely queen of the guild, always say, #Rise Above. Thank you for listening to Story Route Zero. We hope you have enjoyed your time here as much as we've enjoyed having you. Once again, questions, concerns, complaints, pictures of pets, or favorite recipes can be sent to storyroute0@gmail.com. You can yell at us on Twitter at StoryRoute0. Rate us and review us on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you may have found us, as it helps with discoverability. If you'd like to hit us up individually, you can find Moose Cool at Sven, that's SVHENN on Twitter, PSN, Instagram, and of course Twitch, streaming games. You can find Jason Marshall writing at obelisk.co. You can also find him on Twitter at GimpyJ with 2 Y's at the end, as well as PSN, Instagram, and Twitch. He also has his own website, whereisthepausebutton.com. You can find Michaela Crescione doing all sorts of writing at obelisk.co, as well as on Twitter at RedXMaud. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me everywhere I'd like to be at infinite_rewind. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Twitch, that's PSN, and I also have my own website, infiniterewind.com. Be sure to check us out at all the places. You are always welcome, and you will always have a seat waiting for you on this ride. Thank you for listening, but for now, it's back to the real world for us. So we will see you on the next one.